Guys who just listen to too much red pill material. Not her first choice. She'll likely leave me if a better option comes around.
I hear this a lot from men in my comments. You're not her first choice. Her first choice would be a 6'4" guy in finance who is ripped and everything that they think women want in a man. But the same could be said for men. If they had a choice, they would go after the Sydney Sweeneys of the world, or a model, or some Instagram baddie. Those are things that men also aspire to have. That doesn't mean that you're settling whenever you end up with somebody that you just vibe with. When you end up with somebody that you love, that you like the personality, that you enjoy spending time with, that matters more than these aspirational, superficial things. You're happier with someone who shares your values, who laughs at the same things you do, or finds the same things you find funny, or has similar interests or adjacent interests, or you just respect them and admire them. If you fall in love with somebody, you say yes to marrying them, that is your first choice. They really feel like if they're not this end all be all Chad, any woman's just settling. And that's also going to keep you black pilled. It's going to keep you red pilled. It's going to keep you single if you keep thinking like that. Find somebody that you find attractive. Find somebody that you vibe with. Find somebody that you respect. And those are the people that you should be with.
There's a big difference in relationships, because men, when they're in a relationship, they're in it. So if they have options, let's just say they explore those options, that doesn't mean that they're not loyal. They're not faithful.
So how is it different if a woman is exploring her options?
Men like purity, and they want you to be faithful to them. There's a big difference between faithful and loyalty.
Men will have sex with other women, but it doesn't mean that they don't love you and they're not going to come back to you. So men can explore those options, but once a woman explores her options, she's done.
This is how you lose a good man fast, because some of you are praying for the man of your dreams, but when he shows up, you're the one driving him away. The fastest way to repel a man of value is disrespect. If you embarrass him, talk down to him in front of others, he is done. Men will tolerate a lot, but they will not tolerate a woman who kills their respect. The second way is chaos. If being with you feels like a full-time job filled with drama, constant arguments, mood swings, and tests, he will not stay. A man of value does not want a second battlefield at home. He wants peace. And the third way, controlling everything. If you won't let him lead, won't trust him to make decisions, won't respect him as a whole man, then what's the point? He is not going to fight for you. He'll just leave. See, you can be beautiful, successful, and independent, but if you are disrespectful, chaotic, and controlling, no man of value will stick around. They just won't. He doesn't need to. He has options, and he will walk away from a woman who drains him. So if you really want to attract and keep the man of your dreams, don't be the woman who destroys him. Be the woman who builds him up. Be the woman who adds peace, respect, admiration, and passion, because the truth is, high-value men don't waste their time where they are not valued. And if you don't get that right, you won't just repel him. You're going to lose him forever and be alone with your cats.
Hey, if you don't text me back, I'm never going to talk to you again. I'm 36 years old. I don't have time to play your games. I run a multi-million-dollar company. I work out 6 days a week. I have a full social life. And I put out 10 to 15 pieces of content every single day. And still, if we're dating, I'm going to text you back, and I'm going to text you back quickly. Because in this day and age, I feel like everybody wants to keep their options open. And there was a study recently that came out that said people with too many options when it comes to watching television, or when it comes to social media, or when it comes to consuming anything, tend to be less satisfied with their choices than people who only have one. I'm a one-choice kind of guy. And I've been a multiple choices kind of guy in my past, don't get me wrong. But I'm at the point in my life where let's stop around, you know? And here's a lesson for you boys. If the energy shifts, keep it moving. If she's texting you regularly and then all of a sudden she falls off, it's probably time to go. At least have some self-respect, you know what I mean? Because you deserve better. And if she doesn't see that, sorry. Love y'all. Peace.
The man who is actually the most serious about you is often the one who moves the slowest. We've been taught that speed equals interest, right? Fast replies, fast plans, fast emotions, fast intensity. But when you listen to men talk honestly, you start realizing that speed often has more to do with excitement than intention. And when a man is caught up in the moment, he moves quickly because he's chasing a feeling. the rush of affection, the adrenaline, the excitement of something new. But when a man genuinely wants you and he's serious about you, something different tends to happen. He becomes more careful. He thinks more before he speaks. He plans more before he acts. Because now it's not just about enjoying the moment. It's about being intentional and not ruining something that actually feels important to him. But many of us don't like that. We don't appreciate that because we want something fast. We want the rush of excitement. The man who is serious, he's gonna slow down. He watches how you communicate. He observes how you handle things, who you really are before he invests deeply. And to a woman, that slower pace can sometimes feel like hesitation or a lack of urgency, and we hate that. But sometimes a man moves more slowly, not because he doesn't see value, but because he does.
You decided to give dating a chance, and now you got to sacrifice your me time for a 2-hour phone call. And it really be hitting you like, dang, being single made you realize how selfish you are when it comes to your realization time. Because what you mean I got to pause my show, get out of my comfortable position, and actually talk for hours? Like, I like you, I do, but I also like my peace. I like my snacks and my silence. And that's how you know when you've been single for a while. When you really start enjoying it, like not in a lonely way, this is actually kind of perfect type of way. You got your routine, you got your space, your time exactly how you want it. It's no checking in, no long explanations, no unexpected emotional labor at 10 p.m. when you're already mentally clocked out for the day. I'm telling you, sometimes dating start feeling like an interruption. And it's not even that you don't want love, because of course you do. It's just, does love come with a call me for 15 minutes and let me go back to my show option? Because 2 hours every day, good morning texts, like, yeah, you might like them. You might want to be with them at some point. But you love your me time a little bit more than anything else right now.
Honey.
Yeah.
I got my nails done today.
What? Nice! Wow! Oh my God! Oh, those look incredible. How much?
$75.
That's it? Both hands?
Yeah.
$35 for 10 nails. What a steal! I hope you tipped her well.
I did.
All right, good. Because that's one of the best jobs they've done.
Yep.
That place is incredible. Did you get your toes done?
No.
Why?
Next time.
You should have.
Honey.
Yeah.
I got my nails done today.
What? Nice! Wow! Oh my God! Oh, those look incredible. How much?
$75.
That's it? Both hands?
Yeah.
$35 for 10 nails. What a steal! I hope you tipped her well.
I did.
All right, good. Because that's one of the best jobs they've done.
Yep.
That place is incredible. Did you get your toes done?
No.
Why?
Next time.
You should have.
Honey.
Stay-at-home wives, when these guys go looking for wives at 35 years old, they're not looking for 30-year-old women. They're looking for women at least 10 years younger than them. Somebody who does not have all the emotional baggage, just doesn't have all the, call it mileage, just call it years. They don't have all that. Looking for somebody who is younger, less experienced, and somebody who can follow a lot better. That's what these guys are looking for. So when a man hits that kind of income, $120,000 or something, he's about 30 years old. So the questions really start to come here's the question. What if you're a woman 30 to 35 years old? Do you really have a plethora of options out there?
I recently lost a lot of female followers. They're coming at me in my DMs nonstop, in my comment section nonstop. And it's like, you guys keep saying I'm a pick-me, I like male attention, I thrive off of male validation, so on and so forth. But let me tell you something, I'm bad as Look how pretty I am. Really take into account how bad I am. If I wanted the attention that you think I need, that you so desperately need, I would just post my body and face all day. Do you not see this? This is all real too. Secondly, my content is for the men who actually get up and get it, who don't complain, the real fathers, the men who work a lot. they don't have a platform, because we have the bitter woman who put out the bitter men they choose to be with and have babies with. They get a platform. But the men who are quiet and don't need a platform, they don't have it. And I want the real men to be recognized. So stay the off my post if you don't.
And I understand, because the man was making an argument, I think his response to a guy that I really think he has a lot of really good takes is, you know, a lot of times for a lot of these modern women, you're not their first choice. And he said, well, you know, that same could be said for men. I think the difference is for a lot of modern women, even if you wanted to make that argument, modern women let it be known, you're not my first choice. I'm settling for you. And they keep on saying that word over and over again. There's a lot of things that modern women say that if they said to anybody, whether it be a woman in a relationship with another woman, it would be offensive and it would be off-putting. That's what men are saying. That's part of the problem. Modern women talk too much. They say things they're not supposed to be saying, they shouldn't be saying. And they know if somebody said the same thing back to them, oh, well, you know, I would rather have him. And then when they get the chance and the opportunity, they act on it. I'm going to a Chris Brown concert. Or I'm going to Usher concert. No problem. I'm paying for VIP. No problem. You want a closer experience? The same thing as getting something courtside or closer to the field. Or you stand on the sidelines. No problem. But you have the man hugged up all on you, grinding on you. You put it out, well, you know, I'm pregnant, but, you know, I shaved everything. You know, it's that type of stuff and that type of disrespect that modern women continue to put out.
Part 4, and I will leave it at part 4 unless y'all want me to continue. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it at part 4. I'm going to say this, that men have a right to their feelings, and this is how they feel, ladies. Let's get it started. Y'all are too naked, too scantily dressed out in public. They don't like the fake hair and the extended lashes. That's been an ongoing conversation. They hate lace front wigs. They hate it. Y'all are not fun to be around. Someone said, why even date when you can get everything for free, expecting everything, offering nothing, too many attitudes. I agree. Always needing approval from your friends, very unapproachable. I can also agree. Say you want good men, but constantly pick the opposite. I agree. Always seeking validation and attention from social media. I can go on.
Look in the mirror and just hear what you're saying, because the dumb hurts, honey.
I love it when men use this argument that they're basically saying like men are only good for physical labor. They don't understand that, number one, many women are handy. And number two, whatever we're not able to take care of, we can hire someone. There's many, many services out there. Whatever it is that needs to be done, we can hire someone.
You look at a construction site and 9 out of 10 of them are women. Be realistic. This women are handy stuff is just like, come on, honey. But she says, oh, we can just hire someone. And you know who you hire? You hire another man. So drop your I don't need a man bullshit, because you do need a man.
Women are attracted, generally speaking, the research shows, to men based on 3 reasons. The third is kindness. They don't want someone who's going to be a good person. They're impressed by men who are good to their parents and kind and go out of their way to help people when there's no reciprocal expectation. The second is intelligence, because the smarter you are, the more likely you are to make good decisions and protect your family's offspring. And by the way, the fastest way to communicate intelligence is humor. I've always said if you can make a woman laugh, you can kiss her.
Wow.
And then the most important thing, though, to women, and people don't like to admit this, is the man's ability to signal future resources. It's not even he has to be rich now, but he has to have his act together such that he looks like he will be a decent provider. And the number of men we're producing that qualify in this category is shrinking.
If I post a picture online, a bikini picture online, there's nothing my husband can do that could compete with that level of accolade.
Attention.
Impossible.
The compliments, the attention, the messaging, that you're so sexy and beautiful, and all these different things from thousands or potentially
Around
millions
the world,
of men
around the world
who have money and all these things.
Yeah, and there's nothing he can do. He can't post online and get the same reaction. And more so, he can't give me the same level of validation. So what's happened is we've created a setup in society that means men have to compete with a level of validation they can't compete with. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I.
You're saying that you wouldn't be with a single mother that's a millionaire?
It wouldn't be my first option, no.
You said a millionaire wouldn't want to be with a single mother that's a millionaire.
If he can go ahead and get a girl that doesn't have a child, he'll prefer that, yes. Men are very different than women because when a guy comes into a woman's relationship or a relationship with a woman and she has a child, he's going to be expected to take care of that child to a degree. You don't just get with that girl, you get with that girl and that child. And here's the other thing you got to remember. If we break up and I build a bond with that child, I now lose you and the child. And I can't have any type of parental rights to that child because it's your biological child, not mine. I'm a stepfather, so I have no rights to that child. So I lose you, child, alimony, house, 50%. So it's an L for me. It's not worth the risk.
Never compete for a woman. If you feel like you gotta compete, you already lost. Listen, when a woman really wants you, it's not confusing. There's no lineup, no try harder, no trying to text better than the next guy. The second you start performing just to get her attention, you lose your power without even realizing it. High-value men don't compete like that. They choose, and funny enough, they usually get chosen too. If you want the full guide on 10 rules men should never break, the link is in the captions down below or the link in my bio. Tell me what you think in the comments.
Men, I'm gonna give you a word of advice. Next time you go on a date, don't ask her what she wants to do, where she wants to go. Make up your mind and make the decision yourself. Because I can promise you, most women on the planet want a guy who's decisive. They don't want to be asked, like, hey, what do you want? Like, where do you want to go? We don't like that. Girls hate that. They would much rather you plan the whole thing, even if it's something you want to do and we would normally not do. Like, if you want to take us to an arcade, whatever, or like a bowling center and then go to dinner at a steakhouse, that's totally fine. But the point is, if you're making the decision and if you're planning it, that's so attractive to women. Trust me. Do that more often and you'll get so many girls.
The older I get, the more I realize, the more you improve yourself as a man, the less dating options you actually have. Let me explain. If you're a dude and you have a good career and you have your own place, you're in shape, you're ambitious, maybe you're doing content or have another business on the side, you kind of need someone that's special. Like, if you met a girl and all she brought to the table was her looks, and all she wanted to do was travel and party and do rich people, like, it's just not gonna work out. Like, your lifestyles are not gonna align because becoming exceptionally successful is so hard that you either need somebody in that traditional support role that just believes in you 1000% and is just grateful for whatever you can provide in the moment, or you need someone that's also in the trenches, whether that's with you or doing their own thing, and they'll just understand the realities of the grind and like what it really takes. The problem is both of these types are already rare on their own, but they also have to match your physical preferences. So yeah, as you raise your standards for yourself, you're also going to raise the standards for who you allow into your life. And if you keep going, there's just going to be less and less people that are going to meet those requirements.
I believe that when a woman loses respect for you, she stops loving you.
And why would she lose respect for you? Like, what would cause
Maybe you're emotional. Maybe you don't provide in the way that you should. Maybe because you don't provide, she is having to go take on a masculine role out in society, possibly even working for another man. And now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a woman in the workplace. Clearly, you know how I feel about it. But I think you need to have a strong understanding of a woman in her actual true nature, not the agenda that's going on right now, but a woman's true nature. I think a woman that is not influenced by bad culture or by promiscuous culture, etc., most often, most times, and even the girls that are strikingly beautiful that make a whole bunch of money. I think ultimately they'd like to find a man that they can look up to, that they can submit to, as unpopular as that might be, that they can support on his mission and be a support system to that mission. And they would like a man that would be a leader to them. And I think ultimately they would like to be a wife, and I think they'd like to raise children. I don't believe that a huge majority of women want to have these crazy careers. I think there's a lack of good men out there and they have no choice.
Here's what I ate on a plane while having a full panic attack. Picking up with the soy milk, I really enjoy it when they serve me this, so I was really happy because you can see it's shaking. I'm scared. I'm holding it to the side. My pinky's up. That means I'm really scared. I'm so sorry for the scream.
Can you imagine upgrading to business class to avoid screaming children, but then you encounter screaming adults and I don't know what my favorite part during the panic attack was. The fact that you kept looking at your camera to make sure it was on the record. Or the fact that that wasn't People keep comparing her to this lunatic. I don't know if you guys know. The strongest TikTok diagnosis of today versus the strongest TikTok diagnosis of all time.
So height matters?
Yeah.
But guys can't change how tall they are.
I mean, y'all always expect us to be short.
I don't judge people based on stuff they can't change, because that's just wrong.
No, I agree. I
Okay,
agree
cool.
with that statement.
So when you say height matters, you're judging based on something they can't change. Okay. So the point of this interview
But that's a preference.
is your preference is invalid because you can't change it. They could be
invalid.
Yeah.
That's an invalid preference.
Why? But I can't change it. I can't change it.
Hey,
she's a 3 and she's a 2. I'm just being real.
Well, you know what?
I'm just being real. I'm being real.
It's just like
That's like a guy. That happens to men all the time, you know. It's like falling for you know, you like her, but deep down you really don't respect her because she don't respect herself. But you can end up liking the things she do for you. Mm-hmm. And then you start liking that, but then you gotta realize that, you know, deep down in your soul, you don't trust her because you know how she get down. The same thing you can love is the same thing you can hate by a person.
That's most likely. That's most times the thing.
And with the woman, and I really do appreciate her listening. She did 4 parts of reasons why men do not approach. And it's not like she really had to even do this, but we make videos over and over again on the same thing that men have said. Why can't we find a good man? Why is it that a man won't approach? A man has probably told you. Somebody in your life, if you've listened to them, has probably told you, even if I approach you, well, why didn't you seal the deal? Why didn't you get my number? Because I started talking to you. And now I see, after talking to you, maybe this is not the way to go. Like they said, it might be something with your personality. It might be something with the way that you dress. I'm trying to tell you, these are things that because y'all don't care nothing. Y'all want everybody to think about what you got going on. And well, I'm not comfortable with this, so you need to make me comfortable if I'm going to go out with you. Ditto. If I'm going to be paying and supporting you on a long-term basis, I, as the man, need to feel comfortable too.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Carry on. Carry on. Bunny. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's okay. Bunny girls. Good morning, Bunny twins. It's a bit shady to have a bunny without the white folks in here. What the hell wrong with y'all? Show some culture. Take them things off y'all goddamn head. They don't have damn bunnies on. Come on now, take them things off. Show some color about yourself. Show some bravery. Thank you very much.
2 things can be true at the same time. I don't believe in approaching strangers in public to shame or call them out. Mind your business. I think that's unnecessary, and honestly, it creates conflict. At the same time, my page is about leveling up and how we present ourselves in the world. For me personally, bonnets and pajamas are homeware. They're for protecting your hair and being comfortable in your private space. That doesn't mean someone needs to be publicly embarrassed over it, but I also think it's okay to have personal standards for how you show up outside the house, especially if you know your hair is already done. Wear it out, ladies. If you're not up to doing your hair, grab a headband or cap wig. It takes less than 10 seconds to put it on and you're good to go. Comment below and let me know what you would have done in this situation. Was he wrong? Were they wrong? And follow me for more videos like this.
This one's for the guys. If you're a female, just keep scrolling. I mean, you can stay if you want, but you'll probably get a little butthurt. If you go on a date with a woman and she automatically starts saying she has standards and then starts to name some of her standards that or expectations that she has for her significant other or man that she's dating, and she immediately goes into, he can't wear Crocs, he can't eat chicken wings, he can't listen to Taylor Swift. You're on a date with a child dressed as a woman in a woman's body. Standards, for those of you that aren't aware, I'm sure there's women in here, are things like you want somebody who communicates with you. You want a God-fearing man. You want a loyal man. Those are standards. Those are qualities that you want in a man. But demanding a man can't wear Crocs is not a standard. That is control and childish. And then you wonder why you get these guys that you label as boys. Do better.
I totally understand why men wanted their wives to stay home and do the cooking and the cleaning while they worked. There was a point in time where my boyfriend stayed home because he had a work from home job and I was working full time, going to work and from work. And he did everything. He did the cooking, he did the cleaning, he did the shop, like all of that. I would go to work, I would come home, dinner ready, laundry done, floors vacuumed, okay? All of it, right? It was like, this is what it feels like to have a stay-at-home wife. It was bliss.
Let me just say, I think this is pretty dope. I love the fact that she's able to experience what a lot of men have experienced over the years. Not so much nowadays, but back in the days, this happened all the time. But I do want to say, this is pretty interesting to me, considering the fact that he is doing the exact same thing a stay-at-home wife would be doing, and he's still working a full-time job. She said the man works from home. I didn't say it, she said it. So that means this man is cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, vacuum cleaning. This is what she said. But there are a bunch of women out here complaining when they have to do it without a job. I posted a video a while ago about this guy who has a 1-year-old. He works from home, but he takes care of the child, cleans the house, cooks, do all the stuff that a stay-at-home mother would do. And he was blown away by how easy this is. So I think it's time for y'all to come clean, ladies. It ain't as hard as y'all keep saying it is.
You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar.
Let's just be honest. I think it just comes down to bad organizational skills, bad time management, bad planning. And for some of those women, they're just plain lazy. But y'all gonna quit coming on here acting like being a stay-at-home wife is a big deal, because we on to y'all now.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
All right, so you like a man that can protect you, right? You like a man that got some hands on him just in case something happens.
Yeah.
Well, you got to understand, it took something for him to be able to get them hands on him.
Yes.
All right, so that's the kind of man you got. You got a warrior.
Yes.
Are you cool with having a warrior? That don't mean he gonna disrespect you, hit you, or anything like that, but like the rope is short.
Yes.
You know, so like he's in protection mode. That means that you ain't gonna be able to be gyrating and naked on the internet. That's part of the protection.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So like a lot of people don't understand what comes with what they're asking for.
Yes, they don't look at the other side. It's like it's all of the warm and fuzzy stuff. But for everything that you want in a man, like you said, it took something for him to get that.
Yes,
so you got to be ready for what you're asking for, which is why it's imperative for women to, even if they are single, to have really solid masculine men in their life so they can know what that looks like.
A submissive woman actually controls the man. Sounds backwards, right? But hear me out. Loud women with attitude and ego, they turn off real men. But a calm, feminine, respectful woman, see, she doesn't have to raise her voice to be heard. One soft sentence from her and she can move mountains. See, submission isn't weakness. It's the most powerful form of influence. A man is ready to go to war for a woman who brings him peace, but he won't lift a single finger for a woman that only brings him cows. And this is where most women get it wrong. They think power comes from competing with their man, from bringing attitude and ego into the relationship. But her real power, it's inner softness. And that's how a man bends without feeling broken. Because you can demand respect through force, but you'll never get devotion that way. And a woman who understands her feminine power doesn't need to fight for control. She already has it. Because the man who feels at peace will do anything to keep that peace. And that's not manipulation. That's polarity. And that's what keeps a relationship strong.
Unpopular opinion. Expecting for that man to lead and you know you're not ready to let go of control is crazy work. Especially when every time he tries to lead and he tries to make decisions, you have some kind of level of objection for him or something to say or a better way to do something. You have to actually sit back and just let that man lead. Let him do what he needs to do to lead the team. Because leadership is going to require space and time for him to make the right decisions for y'all. And you have to give that to him, and you have to trust that he's making the best decision for y'all. You can't just always try to control everything. Like, you want him to be the leader on the field, but you want to approve the playbook. So you want to be the coach. That's not how it's going to work inside of a healthy relationship, baby. If you want him to be the king, let him wear the crown.
I don't have any problem with listening to my man and being submissive. He allows space for me to express myself, and he's a great listener. Mm-hmm. And so because I know that he's listening and he is considering me, I allow him to lead in a lot of situations because I already know he knows me well enough to consider me. Mm-hmm. And so when a person listens to you, that gives you some safety when it's time for them to make decisions concerning you.
Mm-hmm. And so he's making decisions based off of what he knows about you.
That's all I'm saying.
When you was in your peak, you ran loose. You had multiple dudes. You had a dude to take you out to eat, a dude that was good at a dude you can call when you want company. She laughing because she know it's true.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
All right. So when a man reaches his peak, y'all like to go, oh, he's still immature. No, he's now at his peak. Y'all peaked at 2 different times. But the difference is what you like from him, status, money, resources, and power, he can have forever. But you can't be young forever.
Did you get a good look, did you? Did you enjoy that? Did you? Yeah. Did you enjoy that?
You know, there's a clip where it said man shames women for wearing bonnets and pajamas in public. Was he wrong? I would probably say, him approaching them and talking to them and stuff like that, he was probably wrong in his approach. But his message and the concept of it was right. My mom and my grandmother, aunts, uncles, and all that, times have changed. And so things are different, and I understand that. But some things have changed for the worst. It used to be back in the day, and I'm not advocating for you to walk out here with a suit on, but it used to be back in the day that they would get dressed up just to go to the grocery store. I mean, you would think that they were going to church, but they would just be going to the grocery store, just running around town to pay bills. It was a certain level of, it was a standard. It was a certain level of decorum that a lot of people had back in the day, which we really don't have today. Modern women, they have not only, and you keep on talking about we're evolving, not in the way that you present yourself, right? It seems like the smarter a lot of these modern women get, the sillier they get, and the more they want to take off. And so it while you might be smart academically, while you might present well academically, and you might be able to talk the talk, the way you present yourself is really, it turns a man off a lot of times. And it really, for anybody who's trying to pursue you, it makes them uninterested.
The word accountability gets used so much online, especially as it pertains to women.
But one of the reasons why women specifically have a hard time wrapping their head around the idea of accountability is because women believe that if they don't do nothing, then it wasn't their fault. If I didn't do anything, then how is it my fault? They don't understand that accountability lies in what you do and what you don't do. You're always making a decision. They don't understand that part. They believe that if this person does this to me, they are accountable for that. And that is true. That's partially true. But the other half of that is if you do nothing about the mistreatment that you receive at their hands, that is of your doing as well. And that's the lack of accountability. That's why some of the girls, the accountability thing, it really doesn't resonate with them because they want to passively go through life. Like they just want to be able to absolve themselves while finger wagging everybody else. That this is what they do to everybody else. And because they let it happen, they get to do this. Like, oh, I didn't do anything. I was just being a deer in headlights. And, but it truly does not work that way. Doing nothing is also a decision. When you are aware of something and you do nothing about it, you are also making a decision. And that is true accountability. Accountability lies in what you decide to do and what you decide to not do. There's always a decision being made.
Where are all the guys that initiate dates?
Where are they? Why are you even asking? I mean, you told them to go away. You told them to leave you the hell alone. You told them you didn't want them, you didn't need them, and that they really served no purpose. And they heard you. So they're off, hanging with their bros, maybe having a few beers, playing some video games, have a little brisket on the smoker. They're enjoying life. They're done dealing with your drama. They're done dealing with your inane expectations. They're done dealing with you. I mean, let's face it. You told them you'd rather be with the bears, so that's exactly what they're doing. They're letting the bears have you. You see, ladies, you've made one huge mistake. You forced men to look at things. You forced them to analyze relationships and see if they're worth it. And they found out, no, they're not. They find that their lives are much happier and much richer without you, which means they're not going to be coming back.
So what's
wrong with you?
To be honest, in my 20s, what I was doing was just dating for fun. Dating, I'm going to be really blunt, dating like, rappers, athletes. And by time I was ready to sit down, I was already in my 30s and I'm like, oh, like I've done give away my most precious years to just partying and being on a scene. And now that I'm in my 30s, I'm trying to date and I really don't know what I like.
Keep going.
I'm trying to figure out what do I like, because for the past 4 years I've been engaged twice and they weren't the ones.
Have you been in therapy?
Yes, I'm in therapy now.
Let me ask you a question that you probably haven't asked yourself, because thank you for being honest, because I was going to get to it.
Answer this. I had one of my friends was telling me that he was dating a white woman.
Okay.
And he said that everywhere that he would go, he would get dirty stares from the black women, right? So he said this one particular time he went to a restaurant and he got up. No, the lady, the white woman that he was dating, she got up and she went to the bathroom.
Okay.
He said these two black women literally walked over to him and said, "What you doing?"
Are you serious?
Dead serious. They asked him what he was doing. They asked him, why is he dating a white woman?
So that...
You know how crazy that is? So what would you call that? What do you call that? Tell me, bro.
That's called our black women are feeling like we not enough. Okay. And don't let him be attractive. Okay. If he's attractive, they gonna really feel a certain type of way, like, what's up with us? Like, for real?
But my question, are they being racist?
You can't make someone choose you. You can't control how someone loves you. You can't determine their capacity to love you, because people can only love you the way they understand love. And if you're not careful, you will invite people into your life and you will assume they know how to love you. That's why the most important thing you can do is learn how to love yourself first. You need to trace an outline so that when people come into your life, they will follow the outline that you've traced for them. But if you don't talk well to yourself, if you don't treat yourself well, if you are not there for yourself, it's not fair for you to invite someone into your life and expect for them to love you better than you love you. That's not a spouse. That's a savior you're looking for. So it's important. What do you desire? How do you want love? Do that for yourself. So when people come into your life, if they're unwilling and unable to love you the way that you need love, you have the option to determine whether or not you get to continue to do life with them. That's how that works. You do have the power of choice. Before you ask someone else to love you, make sure that you're loving you.
A man will only change when he faces all his shame. A man will only change when he regulates his nervous system and he moves through and faces all his pain. A man will only change when he finds compassion and forgiveness for the past and for his parents. A man will only change when he finds compassion and forgiveness for himself, for his past, for his present. A man will only change when he rules his charge and is not fooled by his charge, seeking lustfully for external validation, instant gratifications, satiations and stimulations and distractions, to not face his shame, not face his pain. Otherwise, a man is just gonna stay the same.
Generation of men are so insecure, and where the whole nonchalant act comes from.
Yeah, you are thinking way too far into this. Men are very simple creatures. I touch stove and burn hand. I no longer touch stove because me no like burn hand.
This is a survey that I did with the millions of followers that are 95% male. And over 70% of them said that when they were vulnerable, when they did open up to their ladies, they were punished for it. So ladies, you have to understand that they have either been taught by previous experiences that this is not something safe to do, or you have personally yourself done this to him and confirmed it to be true. This is why guys go into the whole nonchalant and don't show emotions and don't share their feelings and can't be their genuine, authentic self around you. It's because when he did, you punished him for it, or blamed him, or rejected him in some way that has caused him to never want to do that again.
You're considering his overtime.
Well, support is based on income from which support could be paid. It doesn't differentiate or say that.
Well, I'll tell him to quit working overtime. I mean, he's working overtime so he can afford something. Overtime is optional. If he wants to spend his time working instead of sitting in a bar spending money, why should, that matter?
I'm just saying that the support formula doesn't exclude specifically overtime pay.
I understand.
All income from which support could be paid, all available income to both parties. And
so you want him working, because he literally almost doubles his income on overtime and the bonus, which is a reimbursement of his medical for the children.
Certain things get so big that you almost. God damn. I quit though. I quit. That was crazy. No, that was crazy. That was crazy, bro. What are you talking about? This is a talk show. We have a live audience, and you wilding in here, bro. Listen.
I'll smack his cheek off in the bathroom. What? God, 1 second.
I smacked his cheek too.
No, I'm telling you, I gave him that fire. God, boom. Then he tried to act up outside. I finished it off outside and really pounded him out. Legend. You know what I'm saying?
Look at his body. He's just a ball of tense muscle just exploding on your face.
to a DJ gig, your spin game is crazy. You spinning this
No,
spinning
my
on topic.
head game is crazy.
Spinning.
Like you are,
Pause that.
Hey,
It's crazy. He make you feel way bigger than you are. Pause. He make you feel huge, man. Kanye West, he the one.
What?
You know, Jessica was talking about the word accountability and it being what you do and what you don't do, right? A decision is always being made. Women don't see how they're, I didn't act, I didn't do anything. Yeah, but you doing nothing is also a decision. Well, this man did this to me and and this and that, so he should be held accountable. Right. But if you open the door and let that man back in your house, you let that man back in your car, you let that man back in your life, after he did some stuff to you, you are also at fault. There's another saying. I can't remember it fully, but fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Or what I think it might be, fool me 3 times, shame on me, or something like that. I can't remember. But the gist or the idea of the message is, I see something coming around. It hurt me 1 time. It hurt me 2 times. Why would I let it hurt me a 3rd? Shame on me. I have to take accountability for that. Modern women subscribe to fool me infinity times. Fool me an infinite forever. Shame on you.